Students for this year's class, just put here and I'll check you off later. So welcome to our third call for this year, 2023. And as you all know, we only have superstars on this call, right? And tonight we got another superstar, Farmasis. But before we hear from our superstar tonight, I do always, as you know, go over the mission and the vision for Farmasis. Our mission is to educate, inspire, train, and teach at least 10,000 Black women to grow their own food. Our vision is to work collectively as women, to focus on our health and our wealth, to spur economic development. So we have to work together. We gotta be healthy. And let's allow agriculture to make us wealthy, okay? Can I have everybody to please mute yourself so that we can have a clean call? Everybody, please. Thank you. Ms. Donna, mute everybody, please, and we'll just unmute our speaker. So we've gone over the mission, we've gone over the vision, and as you all know, I like to take just maybe 30 seconds for us all to just get on one accord. Y'all know I'm a praying woman. I want to thank God, thank the Holy Spirit for allowing us to be here this evening. If y'all see some tears, I'm telling people this all the time these days, if you see some tears, I am okay. It's tears of joy. But sometimes my spirit just gets so moved when I see us together. This past Friday, some of Farmasis and I, we went down to help our elder farmer, my farm parents, because I couldn't do it all by myself, 5 acres of collard greens to harvest. And we were donating. Okay, I got a dog in here. I'm not used to it. I'm dog sitting, babysitting, so I'll hear something. But we were donating it to a community in Somerton, and 3 vehicles came. And I assumed, I guess, that the sister was bringing men to help her with this. But when they got there, it was all sisters. And when they got out of the truck and 2 cars, I just felt tears. I mean, it was something spiritual about seeing them come. And so again, tonight, if you see me crying, it's tears of joy, because the Holy Spirit is moving inside of me, and I am no longer going to hold back any tears. I've held tears for a long time, a lot, especially there were times when I should not have held them. For instance, at my mom's funeral, I wanted to be strong for my sister and my sisters at the time, and my brother. And then at my sister's funeral, I wanted to be strong for my sister and my brother. And I didn't cry the way I really wanted to cry. And y'all, that was back in the 90s. And so I still wish that I had cried and let those tears out. So if you see any tears rolling, again, I've made a commitment and promise to myself. If I feel like crying, I'm gonna let it out. So again, if you see some tears tonight, I am okay. I am okay. So again, let's just take 30 seconds to be thankful and grateful that we're here tonight. And I'm gonna mute myself because Miss Queen, my granddog, I don't want her to interfere. So let's just take a moment.
Recording in progress.
I was going to say you like on Tasha. I thought it was my Tasha.
Yes, Siri.
Cool.
Okay. Ms. Donna, are you able to mute everyone, because I still hear voices?
Well, people are coming in, so I have to mute them as they come in.
Okay. So now, y'all know we get straight to it. Who can see? Okay, let me see. Who can see the transcript recording on?
It's on.
Huh? Is the recording on,
It's
Donna?
recording. Mhm.
Okay. I thought I had started recording, but then I saw it came on again.
Yeah, so I heard something say recording in progress, but it's probably because people were coming in, and as they come in, it tells them that recording is
Okay.
in progress.
Okay, all right. So good, because a few sisters could not make it tonight, and I told them that we would record it. And I record also for us, for our documentation, so that 300, 400 years from now, our great grandchildren will see what we planted for them. So we do record all of the calls. So now, Ms. Donna, look for her, our superstar for tonight. Pharmacy. I told her she has about 20 minutes. And then, so we're going to give her 20 minutes, and then we're going to have a discussion, question and answers. And you all know that I hold this call only for 1 hour. And usually I have an after party. But tonight I cannot have the after party because I have my students that I need to speak with. Again, could all the students just put present or here, or sister, I'm here, girls run the world, something in the chat, so I can
And
account for
speaker,
you
raise
being
your
here tonight.
hand.
Huh?
And I said, and speaker, raise your hand so I can find you.
Here she is. Out.
Okay.
See me? I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, good. You're good.
Okay. And I
So-
changed location. Can y'all see me? Okay.
Can you spotlight her, Donna?
I will as soon as I find her.
See, Stanley, like I see me, you, and then her.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be like that on yours.
Okay.
See, Stanley, let me spotlight you. So I'm gonna remove the spotlight from her, and
I'm so
here you
sorry I
go.
didn't dress up, y'all, but I've been farming.
You look perfect. That's
But
how
I
you
did
supposed to look.
I did go and change my shirt though. Hold on.
Oh, look at that. Yes.
Yeah, I did change my shirt. Benita called me and was like, you ready? I'm glad she did, because I'm known to get lost in the outside. But thank you all so much for having me. I'm so honored. Congratulations again to Benita and all of her humility, South Carolina Farmer Awardee of the Year. That is huge. I loved learning about pharmacists. I also have a group that I work with weekly, So Green Society. But it's different. I charge folks because sow seed, right? And in order to receive seeds. And I don't take attendance either. Waste your money if you want to. You're not serious about this thing. If you invest in money, hopefully you're investing time. So I think this resource is a tremendous one. I want to talk, I guess, tonight a bit about the money-making side of farming. And that is something that I like talking about. I'm perfectly comfortable with talking about money and assets accumulation and how to have a sustainable, both environmentally and financially, farming enterprise. I started my farm, yes, because I did want to have more autonomy, more sense of agency. I had a successful 6-figure career in fundraising. That's what I am, classically trained, fundraising and marketing. And I had acquired a position that I was the first Black person to ever be in that position in the world's largest environmental organization. And I was absolutely miserable because I was in a situation in which I realized that there are very, very big conversations happening, and there is not even an honorable mention of Black people. And if you don't want me to advocate for Black people, then don't invite me to your meeting. I don't know how to do that. If I come in the room, I'm going to advocate and for Black people, first and foremost. I'm very open about that for melanated people, for women, for children. Shoot, don't mistreat a fish in my presence. I'm going to advocate for the fish. All right. Every living creature deserves some dignity, with the exception of roaches and mosquitoes. I don't care at all. Okay. I don't care what value they have for the ecosystem. The climate going to blow up. I don't care. Get them out of here. But everything else. And so I was in a situation where I had acquired this land, and I won't give y'all the whole story, but let me just give you the cliff notes. There was a man, there was some land. One appreciated, one didn't. I kept the land. So I had this land and I needed to do something with it, but I also knew that I have a quality of life that I'm comfortable with. There were definitely some things I wanted to change. I wanted to reduce my carbon footprint on the planet. I wanted to live a more environmentally conscious and sustainable life, but I also like my towels warmed. I like hot showers. I like soaks and luxurious salts, preferably made with organic materials. And that wasn't something that I felt I had to give all that up to be a farmer. I grew up primarily with my maternal grandparents, and they had an agrarian background. They were farmers, and they just never had McDonald's money. You know, it just never seemed like, we never went hungry, of course, because we raised food. But at the same time, there wasn't just that discretionary money where you could just go to J.C. Penney's. Those of you who are old enough to remember when J.C. Penney's was balling, you got the catalog and circle. Yeah, some of y'all remember. Don't try to act like I'm the only one. Y'all remember the Sears catalog came and you circled all the stuff, the holiday catalog, dog ear the pages. It just didn't seem that the farm was producing the kind of holidays that I really was desiring. And so I knew going into farming that I wasn't going to do struggle farming. I had no interest in it. I was going to make some sacrifices and compromises, but they were time limited, right? I started out, I didn't have a septic system. I might have to pee by a few trees, but I knew that time was limited. And now I got a couple of toilets I can go. And I'm not about that composting life. Some people are, no disrespect. I like to let bygones be bygones. Okay, let's leave it all behind. I like a flush. It builds confidence. So for me, I knew that I had to approach farming in a very entrepreneurial way. And that meant that in order to build my land, I had to develop a brand. And that's different than how a lot of farmers may approach farming. It's not necessarily the way my grandparents farmed. For sure, they farmed food. They farm the things that we need to sustain ourselves, which is critical. That's absolutely critical. And I'm all for that. However, the thread counts that I like and the price folks are willing to pay for a watermelon, the math wasn't mathing for me. In addition to that, I was new to farming. I had grew up on a farm, but being delegated things to do on a farm is very different than being responsible for the executive decision, right? Because I'm not only handling on-field production. I'm not only trying to keep plants alive, make sure they get water, make sure the pH of the soil is what's preferable to that plant. Make sure I'm dealing with the pests that show up. I got some weed pressure. I got to fight cows on both sides. Got Angus on this side, got Longhorns on this side. They grass don't look like mine. I understand why they want to come over, but it's just, it doesn't work out. I'm trying to learn all of these different plants. Who likes shade? Who doesn't like shade? Who gets mad if you talk too loud? Who blooms at night? Who blooms in the morning? Like it's a lot going on, right? But in addition to that, I gotta make sure I got a domain name. I gotta get UPC codes on the packaging. Oh wait, I need some packaging. I gotta figure that out. What do I need to put on my label? Social media. I have 3 adult children, 19, 27, 32. Not one of them jokers are really active on social media. Why? Because you raised us not to care about external validation. Well, daggone it, I did, didn't I? I did. I raised you not to care about external validation. So great. But now I could use y'all on the social media. My kids are not interested. I'm very clear that I don't try to impress my dream onto them. I don't require my kids to work here, except that 19-year-old, because he wasn't working anywhere else. You're going to work now. So he's here, but he's in school. But my daughters, I don't say you got to come and you got to help, because this is my dream, right? And so I wanted to build it in a way that I'm able to do all of these things that have to be done and still be sustainable and still take naps. I am a firm believer in a Sunday afternoon nap. If you in the house with me, you going to sleep. My dogs are trained. I got the cat trained now, or she go outside if she ain't ready to go nap. Everybody know once the music switch, because you wake up and do the cleanup music first, you put that on. Once it switch, once I put a little 90s R&B or something on, it's time for everybody to go to sleep. And I take my naps. I don't want to be one of those farmers that's just farming, toiling out in the sun. I toil. I do toil, y'all. But I ain't going to sit up here and lie and act like I be out there all the time getting bit up by all kind of manners of critters. And there's a lot of critters out there, and stuff going to bite you. I don't care how you protect yourself. It's something that's going to bite you. No, I'm able to split my time between doing that and between doing the other things that need to be done, making sure the contracts are completed, being able to do the speaking engagements, etc. Hold on, y'all. It's getting dark and I see my light changing. Hold on. That seemed like such a minor thing, right? Turning on some lights. But when you build a farm from scratch, where there's no infrastructure whatsoever, every time I cut them lights on, it's a little moment. I have a little like, let there be light. I had to create a model. So how did I do that? How many minutes I got? How I'm doing on time, Benita? I'm gonna break down for y'all how exactly I was able to do all of that.
You got 15 minutes.
15 minutes. All right. Let me give y'all my deal in 15 minutes. So I won't go into the 5 V's. That's a little more long-winded. I'll essentially tell you what I did. Number one, I became very clear on what I wanted my farm to be. I had a blank slate. I did not have tons of money waiting in a bank for me. I am a fundraiser by training, so I do know how to find money, but it wasn't like I had a ready pool. I grow slow, so I don't owe. I didn't want a whole bunch of bill collectors calling me. I didn't want to be stressing out about a tractor payment, an insurance payment, whatever kind of payment. I made sure that when I started out with a small mortgage on the land. And it was a mortgage that if nobody bought anything from me, I could still take care of without it sending my family into financial distress. I did not bet everything on the farm, so to speak. So that was number one. Number two, which is mixed into number one, I was very clear on what I wanted it to ultimately be. I did not build my farm based on my own limitations. That means if you are the type that are limiting your potential, like you are your biggest hater, as far as giving yourself negative talk and all of that, you got to do some healing to be a successful farmer, because your limitations will also limit your growth. Go ahead and get your therapy. Go ahead and talk to a counselor. Go ahead and pay somebody that's going to provide you with advice. I understand you get good free advice, but at the end of the day, if somebody who's giving you free advice give you the wrong advice, you get what you pay for. Get somebody whose livelihood depends on what they tell you. I need to know that you're going to lose your house if you give me some bad advice, because I need you to be vested in my success. 3, I got rid of all the people, all the situations that were not additive, right? They were not additive. They were subtracting. I couldn't be distracted. I could not be able to build a business, because for my first 3.5 years, in addition to building my farm, I maintained my full-time job. I did not quit my job to become a farmer. It takes time for a seed to grow. You're going to have to eat between the time you plant that seed and that seed is harvestable. So I didn't quit my full-time job. What I did was I started where I was. My first farm was a grow tent in my garage at my family home that I still maintain in Cary, North Carolina. That was my first farm. You only need 1/100th of an acre to start a farm. So I went into it and started growing. And I started sharing my story early on. I didn't wait until everything was perfect. Some of y'all may suffer from paralysis by analysis. You want everything shiny. You want the logo done. You want the website done. You want professional photos. You want the big plump juicy produce that you can say, look what I've done. You need to let people invest in you early. I've got people who were with me from day one. Right? The first day I stood on a YouTube video in a field full of weeds and say, look, y'all, I got a farm. I'm divorced now. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I'm gonna do something, because who gonna check me, boo? I mean, yeah, I've killed thousands of plants. I'm sure, I'm sure there is a plant association out there that wants to press criminal charges against me. But I've raised a lot of plants too. I've grown a lot of plants. So I started where I was. I'm not a beggar, or I have pride. I have a lot of pride. Sometimes it can be to the negative. It's not always good. But I don't like asking people for things that put me in the mind of charity, because I've worked as a fundraiser and I see how wealthy people think about beneficiaries all the time, right? They do have a condescending, a lot do have condescending attitudes, and I that never bode well with me. So I wasn't the type to do like a GoFundMe, but I did do a crowd fundraising effort. And I did it in a way that provided people who were riding with me an opportunity to invest in my vision. And because of that, you know, depending on what level, they receive certain things in return. But I did it in a way, I always built my brand on the side of this is worthy of investment, right? I was always clear on the values. I never went into it looking at it in a way. In farming, I often know that people, and it's not that it's a wrong thing. This is just a different approach. I rather be in a position to give people money on my terms, not based on this is all I have, so I'm gonna parcel you out some and then I'm gonna make do with the rest. Again, I don't like struggle farming. I've been poor before. It wasn't fun. I ain't enjoy it. You know, I didn't enjoy it at all. Matter of fact, I downright was disgusted with poverty. I said, when I get out of this, when I figure this one out, I'm not doing this again. And I speak from the place of a person whose credit score has been recycled a few times. I'm old enough, you know, I had to give it 7 more years for a minute. So I've had those experiences, and I don't want to be in that particular situation. And so when I looked at farming, I always looked at it as not just, I want to grow food to feed my community. I want to invest money in Black businesses in my community, right? I want to be able to go to other women and say, oh, you got down payment for that piece of land? Go ahead, let them do the closing and everything, and then show up to the closing and bam, we'll go ahead and pay the mortgage off. The reason I say do it that way is the same reason you don't tell your kids you got a college fund for them. Don't tell them jokers you got some money set aside or you gonna sign a loan. Let them get them loans in their name. And then when they graduate, that money you had set aside, if some set aside, then you help them out. Because there's something to be said when people are investing in themselves. That's the biggest motivator for so many. And I want to be the person to be like, you know what? You invested in yourself. I want to invest in you. I can't do that if I'm not making money. I got grandkids, 5 of them already. They coming like, y'all, they coming so quick. I sent both of my daughters' uteruses a message like, please just let me catch up. Let me try to remember the birthdays at least. You know, I'm good to know. I don't know their names for real. I got Ace, Goose, Chunk, Fresh, and then Juice, because Goose and Juice, you know, they rhyme. They brother and sister. It's a thing there. Don't ask me the kid's name. It's 5 of them. It's a whole basketball team. The oldest one has asked me to take him to Egypt when he turns 16. I'm like, well, I can do that. And can the whole family come? Well, bruh. Okay, I got to be able to make some money, because I don't tell a lie to the grandbabies. Of course, I'm taking everybody. Your mom and daddy got to come, because, you know, I don't babysit like that. So I I have goals and things that I want to do, places I want to see. And so in order to be able to do that, I always positioned my farming business just as that. This is a business. My time has value. My expertise has value. There is something that you've learned already that somebody else wants to know. So that makes you an expert in that, even if it's killing cucumber plants. If you have been the best plant killer on this side of the Mason-Dixie, then that's what you should be communicating, right? You've got to treat your business like a business now. It should be legitimized. It should be legalized. There should be some paperwork on it if you're serious about it. If there should be something with the state of South Carolina to let folks know that you're serious. And I did that early. I didn't wait until everything was perfect. I've had rebranding. I've had things upgraded. When you can afford better, you'll do better. But don't allow that to be your downfall, the paralysis by analysis. And next, I was very clear on who my customer was. I'm not trying to sell to any and everybody. I'm not out here and getting bit up by red ants for just anybody to wet they whistle with my premium herbs. No, got a market. Everybody's not going to pay the price for my herbs. I'm not selling a pound for $15 because there's no way I can pay my team to work if I'm only charging $15 a pound. So I created my own brand. I sourced for myself. And that also because I can't grow enough to meet the demand for my products. The beautiful thing is I'm able to put money in other Black farmers' pockets. That's how I like to give. I like to put money in other folks' pockets. Our business gives a percentage of our profits every month to causes that matter to our family. And then I'm also on the front end. Yeah, I'm able to give in a way that's not extractive. I think for some of us, we feel that in order to have a magnanimous, noble component to our business, that means we have to sacrifice our own comfort. And if that's where you are, I'm not knocking you. I'm really not knocking you. I'm just telling you that ain't me. I need thread count on my sheets. I need a good mattress, okay? I'm 47. I'm out here farming. I need good arch support in my shoes. I need a vacation. I need a massage. Okay, I like organic food. It tastes better. It tastes better and I like it. So I want to be able to live that life, but I also want to be able to do it in a way that I call my farm my personal joy factory. I don't grow anything here I don't enjoy. I don't create any products that don't bring fulfillment. This is personalized joy. So start where you are. You can start small. You can start on a patch in your front yard. Put a sign on that patch. That's so-and-so's garden or so-and-so's farm. You don't have to make it perfect in order to make it important, okay? I think that was my 15 minutes right there. I'm right on the money. How I'm doing? Y'all ain't.
You on the money. You on the money. You on the money. We can say thank you.
Okay.
Let me unmute. I'm gonna, Don, how do you unmute everybody so we can
Was
say
that
thank
helpful
you?
for you? I hope that was helpful. for
I
some.
think everybody can unmute themselves.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job. Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Helpful, so informative.
The whole
Thank
story.
you.
That was so good.
Thank you
Thank
very much.
What do you
So,
grow
Donna,
besides herbs?
Can you mute everybody for me, Donna? I want to have an exchange with her and then we'll take questions.
Questions. I'll answer that one real quick. Nothing. Medicinal plants and herbs. That's it. I have last season I had over 24 different species. Some species I grow several varieties like cannabis, tulsi. But that's it. Other than the little food I play in. Oh, watermelons. I grow a lot of watermelons, but I don't share them. I grow them for myself. I don't share them. Every now and then somebody will come and I might give them a watermelon, but I turn one of the grandbabies down because they had wasted a piece. They wasted a piece. I'm like, you won't get another piece of watermelon this season. But that's it. Yeah, medicinal plants and herbs.
Okay. So I want to have a little, make some comments. First of all, I want everyone right now to go to the Instagram. If you have Instagram, if you don't get it, and I want you to put in Farmacy Donna, can you put in pharmacy in the chat so that they can see how it's spelled? FARMERCEE. Go to Instagram and follow her if you are not already following. So if you are already following her, put it in the chat. If you're following her already, just put following.
I be cutting up on there, y'all. Most of the stuff when I post stuff is me taking a break. I don't be doing no dance routines. I don't be learning no it be too much going on. I be
Because you
taking a
already
break,
got some
drinking
followers
some
on
water.
here. Your followers are on here. You got some
Oh,
on here
yeah?
already.
Hey y'all. How y'all
So,
doing? Thank y'all.
Follow in.
Appreciate
So
it.
I do see some that are not. So please follow her on Instagram. Currently, she has 108,000 followers.
I don't know
We
who
need
them-
for that number to go up and tell everybody you know. And again,
I
I
don't know
can
them people.
give you a proper introduction, but you introduced yourself.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just see.
One other thing, I want everybody to please put in the state. If you're not in South Carolina, put in your state. We just kind of want to see. We got Virginia,
I
we
saw
got DC.
the Chow Chow young
She's
lady.
here.
What's her name? Lauren?
Joy.
This
Oh, I don't know who sold it.
Hey.
Well, you got Joyce
Wait a
and
minute.
Lauren.
Alaska. Somebody's here from Alaska, Pennsylvania.
My
Okay.
cousin Wanda's from Pennsylvania. Hey, Wanda.
All right. Okay, so
Hey,
your
Joyce.
Chow Chow is here.
Yeah, I see her. I see
So
her.
pharmacy, sis,
Yeah.
hold on, y'all. Hold on one second. Let me finish and then we'll take questions. We have people here from at least 6 or 7 different states.
Oh, wow.
She asked me earlier.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So thank you, sisters who are not in South Carolina. You know, we're building a national network here, right? And of course, the two worlds have collided. The pharmacy and the pharmacist have collided. And so, you know, we're gonna run the world. She mentioned something. There's a difference between crowdfunding and what was the other thing? GoFund and crowdfunding. That's a difference.
Well, it's how you position it, right?
Okay.
Sometimes the moment you put it on GoFundMe, it immediately is viewed as, to me, this is my personal opinion. To me, it becomes more of a philanthropic type deal. You know, this is the same platform that people try to bury loved ones or get help with medical expenses and things like that. When you put it on a platform designed for these campaigns for businesses, I used I Fund Women. I really enjoyed that one, and they actually gave a grant back to me for like almost $1,000. But I did I Fund Women, and it, to me, put people more in the mind of this is a business. So it's more of how you just frame it. Now, others may see a lot of success. I'll say this too about these GoFundMe campaigns. I've seen a lot of them, and a lot of them have raised a lot of money. I ain't seen no farm.
Yeah.
What if farm at? I need to see a tractor or something for my $50. You know,
I've seen that.
Farm. And the challenge is people don't understand how much a farm really costs. And land is expensive. So people think I'm gonna get this $100,000 and I'm gonna go buy me 50 acres. Where? And do you need 50 acres? Right? I made my first 6 figures on 1/4 of an acre. So you don't have to have a whole bunch of land. When you have more land, that means you're growing more low cost crops usually, because high value crops require more care, which means you're probably going to have a smaller boutique grow as opposed to really large crops.
Okay. So I'm going to make 2 more comments and then we're going to open it up. She said she don't like struggle farming. Thank you. She also said invest in yourself. So she asked me about this class. She said, do you charge? I say, no, not for the monthly class. And I don't, and I'll keep it free. It's once a month for 1 hour. However, you all know that there is a fee for the class, and it is an investment in yourself. And I do ask, and CC, I do ask for them to be on time but maybe I'm just gonna do like you. If you want to waste your money, that's you.
If it's your money,
If it's
it
your
depends
money,
on your personality. I stay herbed up all the time, so I don't be bothered, right? I got plenty of herbs in my system right now. Like I feel that's bad. That's bad promotion for my business. If I'm growing medicinal plants and herbs and I'm all stressed about where you are at a certain time, I'm gonna be where I said I was gonna be because that was my commitment. Now you show up, I'm here for you. If you don't show up, okay, that's a decision. And yeah, there are grants out there though. You could be getting that beginner education grant easy with what you're doing right now. But we'll talk about that later. You know, I like using government money.
And last thing I'm gonna say, well, two things. I love she said her farm is her personal joy factory. I love that. And then I'm gonna end with this, and then we're gonna have questions.
Okay.
I do want to spotlight Sister Keisha. I have on some earrings that Keisha made from sweetgrass. You can't see them very well, but let me see if I can take these off and put them closer to the camera. Can y'all see that?
Beautiful.
I got these at the conference this past weekend.
Who is
Keisha's on here. She was at Najma's farm. She did the value-added producer. So one of the things I'm going to begin to ask for sisters, if you have a business, please let me know so I can spotlight you and talk about you and let others know about you, because I do want to be more intentional about collaborating and advertising sisters who are in the ag game.
Absolutely.
Well, it'd be more than agriculture. If you have a business, let me know. Yeah. But again, Sister Keisha, she I think it's her grandmother taught her. Keisha, could you unmute? Could you find Keisha and unmute for a second? Again, I have a necklace too. I didn't put my necklace on because I got my pharmacy shirt on. But again, she made this from sweetgrass. Okay, there she go, Miss Keisha. Give us a few words, like less than 1 minute, Miss Keisha. Talk about your oh, you can't hear? I can't hear you, Keisha. Unmute you. You've been unmuted. Let me see.
Unmuted. I guess her sound, something's going on.
Okay. Well, we've unmuted you, Keisha.
Keisha, unmute yourself.
Yeah, she unmutes herself.
Keisha? Okay, well, we still can't hear. Okay, so if you have questions, please put them in the chat. I'm not putting them in the chat. Raise your hand and Donna will call on you.
Lisa?
Juanita, can you put her business name on the chart for people to?
Keisha, please put your information in the chat, sis. If you have a website, put everything in there.
Okay, you ready for me to ask my question?
Yes.
Okay, my daughter has a farm in Maine. She grows cannabis, and she's told her product is so great, high quality and everything, but she cannot sell it. She has her license to sell it for medicinal purposes, for medical purposes, and she's tried to sell it to the dispensaries there, and they just buy from big companies. So what would you suggest she does?
So she's growing THC cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I grow cannabis that is considered, they call it hemp. It's the same plant. But
Okay.
yeah. Now for me, I didn't go into the cannabis lane because I didn't like that market. Seedy, it's a lot of scamming people, and it's a white boy network. If you don't have a buyer before you grow, then you could be stuck with a lot of product. So I have stayed in the medicinal plants lane. Like my hemp flower is not treated different than my Tulsi or my Damiano or whatever else I have. because I didn't want to go over into that space. If she's growing excellent flower and she knows she's growing excellent flower, then she has to create her own audience. The dispensaries are not going to buy her flower if she doesn't have an audience, right? If she doesn't have a brand. We have people on a waiting list wanting to carry our products because they've heard about us from somewhere. So she needs to start communicating to her audience, especially if she's a young Black woman, then she should be appealing. She should know who her customer is before she produces. If she grows anything, she has to already have her customers. The old saying, you know, grow it and they will come, that's a lie. No, you know who's coming first, right? Just like you want to know who coming to your house, I need to know who's gonna come buy this before I grow it. And then she needs to build it for her market. And she needs to find some lanes that don't have as much traffic. Go after the bachelorette parties. Go after the girls' trips to Vegas. Go after the travel agents who are planning these trips. And a lot of them now do 420 friendly type of excursions. Where's she based? You said what state?
She's in Maine, and she was trying to sell it for medical purposes. That's what she has her license for. I don't know if she has a license for recreational.
Okay, well, if it's medical, she needs to get on the apps. They have apps up there for people who have prescriptions. So she needs to get on the apps. They actually have like a little Uber service. Instead of dropping off your food, they drop off your weed. So she needs to get on those. And then she might want to look into white labeling, putting somebody else's name on her product. There are a lot of people out here who want a brand, but they don't want to grow it. So if she's produced it, now understand, the further away she gets from the customer, the further away she's cutting into her profit. If you can eliminate all the middle people and go straight to your customer, you're going to make more money. But because she has this product, fortunately, it's cannabis. If it's been dried well, it's only going to get stronger in time. So that's a good thing. But she needs to be able to connect. She needs to go to these doctors. Who are these doctors that are prescribing medical? Is there a way that you can work with them that they can ethically recommend your services? Can you do some concierge kind of services? Can I get a subscription if you're medical? Can you just drop my prescription off at my house every month and automatically charge my card? Yeah, she's gonna have to think outside of the box.
Okay. I'll let her know. Thank you.
All right. I hope that's helpful.
It is.
So there's a question in the chat that says, how did you find your wholesale markets?
Wholesale, as far as like the stores that carry our products?
Siobhan? Siobhan, are you still here?
I don't see Siobhan.
Okay. I don't know what the detail was.
Okay, well, I'll answer, because we only sell wholesale to select retailers. One I approached, or rather I knew someone who knew them and had them make an introduction. And then the other actually approached us, the two. And the third, we just signed with a distributor. So we'll be in 10 different outlets coming up the end of this season. That was somebody who found out about us.
Another question is, how about yellow? You mentioned watermelon, so someone's interested in whether you have yellow watermelon.
I do. Got yellow meat, orange meat, red meat, every kind of watermelon meats. I don't have the white meats yet. I just found out about those. They've been keeping those on the low, but I'm looking for some seeds. But yeah, I got all of them. I wish I knew how to make money off watermelons like I make money off peppermint, but it's hard to get rich off watermelons.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Do you
State your
Yes,
name.
I don't see.
This is Dr. Florence Tenaro. I met you at the Black Farmers Coalition. You
Okay.
She's
have a
she's from South
wonderful-
Carolina State.
Yes. At your farm, do you use is it mechanized, or you do old-fashioned planting and weeding and harvesting?
It's a combination. It's a combination. We're a small team, so we do make use of tools. You know, I have a fuel operated cultivator. We've got tractors. I've got
Okay.
walk behind equipment, but we got
Wonderful.
hoes. We
Okay.
do old fashioned hoeing too.
Okay. Good. All right.
Old fashioned
sell?
home.
Old fashioned hoeing.
Do you
Yes.
sell seeds from your watermelons?
I don't. See, everybody be fascinated by the watermelons. I don't. I don't sell any seeds. Just mainly because to sell seeds, there's certain licensure and things you're supposed to get, and I tend to dot my I's and cross my T's, and I just I gotta sit there and count 10 seeds out, and you make like $2. I don't like doing low price stuff. I don't, honestly. I'd rather do something that I want to do, just do it for free, than do something and just make a couple of dollars. So no, I don't do seeds.
Can you tell us your slogan again? Grow slow?
I grow slow so I don't owe.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
You see,
Stephanie.
it's paid for. That's the silent line.
Okay.
Stephanie, you have a question?
Yes, I was gonna ask, what herb is like a high producer, and commands like a premium price, that she grows? And then, just like, how do you come up with your wholesale pricing?
So really all my herbs have a high demand. Some of the higher demands, hibiscus, butterfly pea, my go-to cola, moringa, are all hemp. Hemp is another high value one. And then I have some that are coming up. So, like there's a shortage on valerian, there's a shortage on stevia, there's a shortage on blue vervain. So there's several markets that exist out there as well. My wholesale pricing is based on volume. So if they meet the minimum MOQ, then they receive a certain percentage off. But we're very careful about where we put our products because we put a lot of work in our brand. So I've turned down a lot of prospective outlets because it just, like dispensaries who want to carry our hemp products and stuff like that. We're not in any dispensaries. I'm trying to be on grocery store shelves, not dispensary shelves, and select grocery store shelves, not just any store. So we do want to add more wholesale customers, but it's based on how much can we reasonably produce at the quality that we don't compromise on and still have lives, and enjoy ourselves and take those Sunday naps. So I'm perfectly okay with turning down some opportunities.
What is your soil like?
Most of my soil is actually compacted. I have heavy clay soils. I have a couple of areas here that are a bit sandier, but for the most part, I have a lot of clay. So we're in the process. We're low till now. We're moving towards no till and really beefing up the number of perennials that we have so that can help with some of our compaction issues. How many people on your team? So here at the farm, excluding myself, there are 4. Then I also have a CPA. I have a corporate attorney who handles like trademarks and stuff like that, a general attorney. And then I also have a graphic designer and web designer.
Thank you. Tammy Miller has a question.
Mhm.
Tammy?
Hey there. I enjoyed this so much. So when did you know that it was time to quit your full-time job and do this? At what moment?
Well, that's a whole nother conversation. I will say this: I don't like making backwards or lateral moves. So when I had arranged things in a way that my quality of life was going to be able to remain consistent, then that was the moment when I knew that I wasn't going to necessarily have to sacrifice things that were important to me. And I'm not going to spend $700 on a pair of shoes, because like I'm walking on them, they're on the ground. Like that doesn't make sense to me when I can go buy a nice pair of $100 pumps, and then I got $600 that I can, help some folks go to school with or do something like that. So I tend to give more philanthropically than I do just buying like luxurious stuff. But then at the same token, when I go to a restaurant, I want to order whatever I want to order on the menu. Like, don't show me the special. I want what I want. So I have a balance like that. So when I was able to keep consistency with that, then it was like, okay. And plus some white folks were getting on my nerves at that job too. They were. And I didn't want to be stressed. I'm at a point that I don't argue with people. We either gonna end the conversation, come back to it later, we're gonna dead it, or I'll pay somebody to argue with you. But I ain't gonna argue. So at that point, I was like, okay, let me go ahead and say my adieus. I'm in Liberty, North Carolina. That's the address, but it's actually in Chatham County. So it's an area they call the Triangle. Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill are the more well-known areas. And I'm in one of the more rural counties. I like to learn more about grants available for beginning farmers. So I have some videos on YouTube, free information. I got like over, 200 videos on YouTube. And I do have some on grants. And I also have a course that I'm in the process of updating that is specifically on government grants for farmers, small farmers. So that I'm supposed to be further along than I thought, but that should definitely be out early April. So if you join my email list, then you'll find out. What did you grow when you made 6 figures on that small patch of land you mentioned? I grew the ingredients in my first 3 teas. So Brenda's Balm, which was at that time, I've since added self-heal to it, but at that time it was Tulsi, holy basil, and hemp, which have like almost an exact terpene profile. They play real well together. Sanity, which was lemon balm, Damiana. I actually sourced the Damiana and hemp, and then Fixity, which is the hibiscus, peppermint, rose petal, and hemp. But actually, let me correct that, because that was my second season. My first season, I made 6 figures for demand of the product. My first season or my initial launch, I sourced all of the plant material because I didn't know how to grow nothing. So I had nothing. I had to make some money though. So I sourced it and created a brand. I did grow the holy basil. That was the only thing I had with my first 6 figures. And then I was able to scale up. Are you looking for soil compaction improvement products? Not necessarily products. We're implementing practices. So for example, we are cover cropping, green mulching. Like I said, we're growing more perennials. So we're doing more practices than products. Yeah, YouTube name is Pharmacy.
Okay. So
Um,
someone, Serena, I think sister is, she connected with someone on the last call about free land in Georgia. Could y'all please connect with, she has her information in the chat, whoever that was on the last call. She called me and asked me, I said, girl, I speak to hundreds of women a week. I don't remember, I'm sorry. So if you connected with Serena, Sister Serena Muhammad last month, please get with her in the chat. Okay, I think that's all the questions. We at 7:56. I promised sis that we would have her in and out in an hour. Was there some, I think I heard, are you near Virginia, Chatham? I was thinking about
No,
buying
North
a-
Carolina, Chatham County in North Carolina.
She's in North Carolina. Okay, okay. Well, once again, thank you, sis. Pharmacy.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Honored
Thank
to be
you.
here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
That
you.
was awesome.
Thank you.
So-
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I'm looking
I
for
have-
the link for the earrings. Where was
Put
the,
it in chat, Miss Keisha.
I think somebody did. I saw, okay.
Okay, please put it in chat again.
Is it sweetgreek.etsy.com?
Sweetgrass. So I'll put it, I will send the recording out to everyone and I'll put it in there in the recording. And see, please send me all of your handles so I can put them in the chat also.
At Pharmacy. It's either at Pharmacy or at Green Heffa Farms. That's it.
Okay, okay. So if anyone is interested, this Saturday, March 25th, Harris Farms is doing a workshop connecting socially disadvantaged farmers. It's going to be held at Greenfield Farm, where the annual Black Cowboy Festival is held. Please mute, Donna, and I will send that information out.
Wait, hold up. You said the what? The what now? What kind of event we got going on?
This Saturday coming, Harris Farms is sponsoring a workshop. Wait a minute. Miss, hold on. Got too much noise. Unmute CC for me, Donna. Okay, this coming Saturday, March 25th, Harris Farms
Okay.
is sponsoring a workshop called Connecting Socially Disadvantaged Farmers from 9 to 5. If anyone is interested, and I will put that information when I send out the recording. And I said it's going to be held at Greenfield Farms, where the Black Cowboy Festival is held every year.
That's the date I need. When the Black
So
Cowboys
the
come.
Black Cowboy Festival is May. Let's put that in there too.
I like a cowboy.
Is Sister Myers by chance? Come on, Queen. I'm on the call, Queen. Let me see.
Queen like cowboys too.
The Black Cowboy Festival is May 25th through the 28th. May 25th through May 28th. There it is right there. And if you're interested in volunteering, let us know.
Volunteer to be cute. Let me come slide
Come on,
on that
girl.
South Kakalaki real quick.
And let me tell you, sis, it is something you have to come.
You will
You
love it.
will. Oh,
Pam,
absolutely.
I'm gonna
you will.
love it. I think
Bring
I
your
will.
boots and your hat.
I will have some. I will upgrade by then. I do like a nice cowboy aesthetic. I like a cowboy aesthetic.
I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you posted. And our next meeting is Monday, April 17th. And at that time, we're gonna have a sister here who is a tree farmer, Sister Emily Jackson. We'll be presenting next month. So Pharmacy again, sis, can't say thank you enough. Hailing all the way from North Carolina. And again, pharmacists and pharmacy, the worlds have collided, and we just gonna take it on higher.
Collaborated. We
Collaborate, girl. Who run the world?
we do. Thank y'all. Honored to be here.
Thank
you
you. I'm
so
in North
much.
Carolina. I might have to come by
Thank
your farm and see you
you.
sometime.
Hit me up. Yeah, let me know.
Okay. I will.
We need to organize. We need to organize a trip. Thanks, sis. All right, I want the class, the students in the class to
Need a
please
bill.
hold on. And everyone else, thank you all and good night. I will send the recording out with the announcements.